Hey, you guys. Hey, fellow Wookies. It's Jennifer with TheWookie Natural, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the pros and cons of interlock versus retwist. So stay tuned. Okay, I just want to get right into it. Yes, so we're going to talk about the pros and cons of interlock versus retwist. Now, I personally interlock my hair. Haven't done it in over a month. Right now, I just styled my hair in some pipe cleaners. So stay tuned for that video. You'll be seeing that soon as well. I'll probably put them out close to the same time. But anyway, let's get right into it. Interlock is when you use a tool. Let me see if I have my tool with me, like a hook, right? Use a hook or a hook like this, or there's some other tools you can get on Amazon that look like a hair clip, and you weave your hair in and out, and it's depending on how many rotations and so forth. So hopefully when you get to this video, you know what an interlock is. So many people wondering, how should I decide which one will work best for me? So that's why I did this video, and I wanted to come out with the pros and cons because I have done both. Even though I've done interlock for much longer than retwist, sometimes I do retwist kind of in between interlocking, if that makes sense. If like now, I've already gone like 6 weeks, and so I kind of palm rolled a little bit last week, my hair, just a little bit, and then I'll have this styled in for a week or so, and then I'll probably in the next week or two do an actual interlock. But anyway, enough about that. The pros to interlock are these. These are the pros and cons to getting your hair interlocked. Now, it doesn't unravel. It lasts longer. There's lower manipulation. You don't need product to do it. It's great for people who are active and on the go. So if you're involved in sports or have a busy lifestyle and you're on the go, it's something that you don't constantly have to do. And if you're just starting out, the interlock method is your instant lock method. So it gives you that satisfaction of immediately having locks. Okay, so those are your pros to the interlocking method. Okay, so now the pros to the the retwist method is that a lot of people, this is the traditional way of styling your locks. It's a more traditional way. It's a purist, what I call a purist method, for those people who really are wanting to experience the whole lock journey in the most purest form. I would say retwisting your hair is going to do that for you. It uses your hair, when you retwist, it's using your hair to naturally coil. Okay, this method is easier to do. It doesn't require any prior knowledge. You just do this. It does give you a more uniform look in how your locks look. You have more of a barrel look, a cylinder like look, as opposed to the interlock where you may have a bumpier look, but I'll get into that too. The other thing is that it's a beginner friendly look. Like I said, you may have less shrinkage with this method, and it is not so good for active people. For people who are more, unless you're retwisting into a style, if you're just retwisting with clips and just letting it dry and all that. Oh, the other thing is drying it. Okay, so we'll get down to that. But it's okay for active people, but I feel like interlock is better for active people. So those are the pros for the interlock and the retwist. Now, for the cons. The cons are, for the interlock, is that it's a bumpier look. So your locks do not look smooth. They have little bumps in it. Sometimes it does require some skill to use the hook or the crochet hook or whatever the other tool, the crochet tool that you can use. You can do it too tight. So if you do it too tight and too often, it can cause breakage. It does take longer to do. And people might not feel that this is a real way to lock your hair. You may feel like you're cheating, a little cheating doing it, okay? So those are the cons to interlock. Now, the cons to the retwist is that it doesn't last as long as the interlock. If you sweat or you're in the water, you can lose your retwist very easily. It can unravel, especially in your starter lock stage. If a lot of times people use products to do their retwist, so there's a more likelihood of a buildup, and it causes you to use more manipulation because you're doing it more often, and I feel it's higher maintenance. Okay, so those are the cons to that. So just keep that in mind when you're starting your lock journey, that you may want to consider that. And maybe to get you started, you'll do interlock and then later go to a retwist. That's fine. Some people say don't go back and forth. Now, I wouldn't necessarily go back and forth, but what I would do is choose one way you're going to do for the most part. Choose one method you're going to use for at least the next year or so. And then people can easily tell as their hair grows out where they interlock and versus where they retwisted. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not that you can't go back and forth between the two methods. It's just that you can tell the difference in the texture and the formation of your hair with the two methods. So it's just something to keep in mind. And I hope this video helps you guys. This is something that, as I'm learning, this is something that you may want to know. So I thought I would be able to provide this content to you. And I thought this is able to help. So until next time, stay wookie.